Huh. I don't see anything.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, huh?
There
Everybody
goes
knows
Larry
that.
again.
Whoa, what are you guys doing? You suck.
We just want to rock.
Welcome to Babble Buddies Northwest.
Larry, did we just find Bigfoot?
We are your hosts, Babble Buddies Northwest. She is ShanzDev.
Maybe that's it. I want my can see. And he is Larry King Jr.
The town, nobody knew what to call it. There's a lot of tulips here. Hump these tulips. Did you say hump these tulips? Welcome to our show where we'll be all of the things exciting, informative, foolish, and
Incomprehensible. Join us as we journey together through the Babble Buddies Northwest podcast, broadcasting to you from the This Is It video production studio. Have you ever heard of something called a gooey duck?
Oh! Size matters when it comes to gooey ducks. I know about them.
That is true because the Pacific gooey duck is a species of a very large,
Long and long.
large,
The head's so big,
large.
it can't even fit in the shell.
Clam.
Gooey.
Larry, I'm trying to give you knowledge.
Okay, I'll just say I know what a gooey duck is. I've seen one of them.
Well, okay, it's the large saltwater clam.
Oh.
Long, large, can't keep it in the shell.
Can't keep it in the shell. I like all of it. Now, you seen a gooey duck? This is like to predator or to his predator or whatever that feeds on him. It's an easy target.
Well,
He can't even
it
retract.
doesn't- and it kind of goes back to like your popcorn or your hump
Yeah.
tulips or
Oh, there you
whatever.
go.
It's like, who looked at this and said, I should eat that?
Exactly. He said, hey, that's awful big. Should put that in my mouth. That's pretty darn long. I should probably chew on it. Yes, somebody did that first. I don't know who was the person who was the one again. Because if you're seeing a gooey, that doesn't look like a regular clam, right? This thing looks like a dill pickle with a shell. And somebody was like, oh, it's moving too.
It's-
Huh?
Let me catch it.
I'm going to try that. Put that right all in my throat. There was a one. And I don't know who that one was. Right, but it's a big deal. Apparently, they are like the thing in China. They're considered a delicacy, right, in China. People love these things.
Oh, yeah.
Gooey ducks, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Pacific Northwest seafood
Yeah.
is worldwide known.
Worldwide known,
Amazing.
yeah.
So we do have a very special guest today.
We do have a very special guest
We
today.
do. Her name is Miss Melissa.
Yes. From where?
She is from the Geoduck Restaurant and Saloon.
Where size does matter.
Oh.
We're talking about burgers and gooey ducks.
Hello, Melissa.
Hello.
Babble Buddies, do we have a treat for you today? We embark on the journey to the heart of Western Washington, where the gooey duck stands as a beacon of tradition. Let me introduce you to the illustrious gooey duck, a symbol of local lore and culinary adventure. Melissa, as the owner carrying on your mother's legacy, what does it mean to you to keep the gooey duck in the family?
It means a lot. It's been in our family since 1968. And unfortunately, I am the last of the family. Like, I'm the last one there to keep this tradition going.
And with that tradition, how do you balance tradition with innovation and to ensure continued success for the gooey duck?
Well, I just strive every day to try to continue a lot of the traditions and listen to my community. It's more my community. We have a lot of tourists in the summertime, but my community that support me all year round, we try to keep it so they don't, panic.
So, Melissa, I recall there was a very tough time recently within the last 2 years, I'm going to say, where your septic system had issues and you had to kind of fight to get everything back up and running. You had a GoFundMe. Can you elaborate on what took place?
Yes, our Our drain field was really old, very old. And it went out when the king tide came in and took out my drain field. So the county kept promising that I could pipe into the park next door, the new sewer system that we all paid for. Well, when it came time to do that, they wanted $550,000. And I owned to the corner of the park. So it was like, you know, who's going to come up with $500,000 right after COVID to do such a thing? So I took out the side parking lot and made that my drain field and got our new septic system up and running. It took about 16 months, and all summer through outhouses and plastic cups for kegs, beer, and it was a nightmare. But we had a lot of support and a lot of just good-hearted people that stuck through it and loved the Geoduck, and they just supported us the whole way through.
And that's what community does. That is amazing.
You built a community.
Yes.
I remember driving through and stopping in, and I was surprised when I saw the honey buckets and all that. And I'd always gone by when I was a kid, but I wasn't allowed to go in because, like you said, it was a tavern, and then now it's changed to restaurants. But I was definitely surprised, and then I was very sad. And that was my first time I interacted with you when you spoke of all the troubles. You had came back to the Geoduck to help out, and then a couple weeks turned into where you are now.
I came out to help my mom because she was very sick, and people were calling saying she wasn't opening. So I came to check on her, and she passed away 8 months later. So it was either learn how to run a restaurant for the first time in your life, any business, or board it up and walk away. But I had known a lot of the people there, and the best interest was to keep it going. You know, there wasn't it took about a couple hours to think, okay, well, here's my life now, and this is going to be a big change, and I did it. And it's been, 16 years now, so it's been a long learning curve.
Wow, sweet 16. So you've not only gone through that horrible tragedy, you have found empowerment within yourself, strength. You are a survivor. You're creative. Like side parking lot, you're out of here.
Right.
Amen.
You've done amazing, and I watching all over social media and how the story has unfolded is nothing less than phenomenal. To use Larry's favorite word, phenomenal.
It was pretty scary to, go to bed every night not knowing if you're going to be the family member that after 85 years of business that the door's shut, or, it was very, I had a lot of strength through one of my best friend who works there now, held me up and kept me going and kept telling me, you can do it. No matter what, we're going to do it. And we did it.
A good touch on the community is one of your even recent posts was, I need to move a freezer. Can I get a couple of strong guys over here? Boom. There they showed up. You asked for help and they helped.
Yeah, we just went through another, through this storm. I had a PUD surge through my building. And that was another $50,000 in damages.
There was a recent winter storm and it hit a pole or the lightning or something?
No, a tree fell on the state park, was holding the bucket shut so the fuses couldn't drop out the bottom of the bucket, so it surged the building. And it made a big $50,000 chunk of repairs, so that's where the freezer came in at. We had to get a new freezer and some furnace and all sorts of good stuff. So again, another hit, and then I'm just waiting for the hits to stop coming, and then hopefully we can be on our way to success again.
Everything I'm hearing out of all of the tragedies and the challenges that happened, community stepped up.
Community stepped up, and
Yeah.
the tragedies became triumphs.
Became triumph.
Inspiring, showing what you can do, survive as a human.
Yes.
You're just walking down, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 everything's just coming at you. But yeah, you go to sleep, you wonder, how in the heck am I going to do it? And you get out of bed the next morning and you do it. And you're an amazing woman, Melissa.
And thank you so much. I'm still learning every day, and I hope to learn a whole lot more, but in a better light.
Now, while you've taken over the family business and growing up in the business, do you have any funny moments that happened at the Geoduck that still brings a smile to your face? Anything memorable?
You know, I remember like when my mom and I would close down at night and we would lay on the pool table and listen to Bob Seger and just lay there and giggle. And my kids grew up with their grandma and grandpa at the Geoduck, going out on the boat. We used to have a big Geoduck named George. He used to be in the freezer.
George lived in the freezer.
But until the freezer died one day and George unthawed.
Oh,
So we never found him
no.
again. Yeah, he was in there for many years, and when he unthawed, that was the last of that project. So
I'm sorry, George. Poor George.
George is dead.
Oh,
George is dead.
George is no longer curious. He's no longer curious. What do you think it would say about its colorful history and the characters who have passed through the doors over the years?
there has been so many people that tour this place, and the locals that come in daily. I have seen hands change, or seats, I should say, change to where, somebody sits there every day and if that person isn't there on that day. And then the next day we all start talking like, anybody seen so-and-so? And unfortunately, that's how we find out when people pass on. But yeah, there's just so many characters that run through there that make the place so fun.
A quick question: Were you there, or do you recall when Robbie Knievel visited with his film crew? Do you recall that when he had breakfast there?
Yep, Robbie was really, he was a good part of the Geoduck. When my dad passed away, he came to the memorial and made my daughter this cross, just sitting there talking. He made her this cross, and she still has it to this day.
Aww.
Yeah, I was really sad to hear of his passing.
Yeah, that was a hard hit, but that was I about jumped off the couch because I was watching his series, and when he showed up at the Geoduck, I just started screaming. I'm like, this is awesome! So what a good man, and what a great story to tell.
Yeah, he was an amazing man.
But the Geoduck seems to attract a very diverse crowd, from hunters to celebrities to bikers and tourists. What was the most unexpected group of people that you've seen come just to mingle at the duck?
I'm gonna go with the Frog Hat Men.
Frog Hat Men. I would love to hear this story.
Every year a group of men would come in and they'd all have these frog hats on. And I'm not sure, but I think most of them came from Ireland. It was like this big touring thing that they did every year, like buddies just going on little trips. And so when the Frog Hat Men came in, then we had the Red Hat Ladies. There's groups that make sure that they come to the Geoduck every year. It's a tradition.
If you could switch roles with any of the animal heads adorned on your walls for a day, just for a day, which one would it be and why?
I would probably be the moose.
The moose. Ooh, okay.
The big moose. Just because he's the biggest one on the wall.
Biggest and the baddest, baby!
Where size does matter.
Woo!
At the Geoduck.
At the Geoduck. Can you tell us about any of your favorite creatures, sea life, wildlife, anything? What have you seen there in these 16 years that you've worked with the wildlife in the area?
We have the elk herd that come down from the Dosey Wallops State Park, and they're tagged and protected herds, so they come out and whenever and play in the water and do their thing. And we have an eagle named Frank.
Yeah.
Frank was rescued last summer when he was stuck on shore. he was out there for about 4 hours flapping, and he just couldn't get air anywhere. So I called the Squim Animal Rescue. They came out and got him. His feet were all cut up from fishing lines, so they put him in intensive care. And 2 weeks later, they brought him back out. And now he just swoops down every day. And there's a video of him sitting on the little mushroom stump that we have. And I was out there visiting with him about a week and a half ago. And we have a seagull named George who guards our deck. He's pretty much our little mascot. He's been there 17 years and doesn't allow another seagull on that deck.
Other than Geoduck, what are some of your top dishes that you serve?
Well, our Big Burger Dip was in the Esquire magazine in 2004. So that one we will never get rid of. That one will stay forever. Our deluxe burgers are very popular. They come on a big monstrous 6-inch bun. We have seafood of like coconut prawns. We have fresh ahi tuna. We have salmon, oysters, clams. We have a lot of seafood out there also. So there's a lot of, there's something for everybody. Our menu, in my opinion, is a little big. But every time I try to take something off, then I get a really upset customer and have to make it for them anyway. So might as well just leave it there.
Well, I just have one more question in regards to Mom and the memory. Have you ever laid down on the pool table at closing and listened to some music just 'cause now?
I have. I have. I miss them both so much. And, every employee I have says that at nighttime they don't like to be there by themselves because there's you can feel it. I think from the old owners from way back in the day, there's people in there and there's little spirits in there that things happen and we just kind of look at each other like, okay, like when the COVID happened, the minute we were able to open, nobody was near the register and all of a sudden you heard the register button and the drawer popped out. And I'm like, that's my mom saying, let's get going.
Mom saying, let's get it moving. Let's make it
Have
happen.
the money in that till. Let's go.
Oh my goodness. Well, Melissa, we cannot thank you enough. This has been the most uplifting and inspiring moment that watching what you have gone through. We're Geoduck fans forever, and wherever this journey takes you, we know you are going to rock it. You're going to be amazing. And your staff, your community, we can't wait to cruise on over and take a look at that big old menu and enjoy a feast at the Geoduck.
I think I want to see Frank. Frank and George. These are the people I need to see.
Wow. What a story of perseverance.
And just like phenomenal determination.
Oh, amazing.
Phenomenal.
Geoduck. Geoduck.
Geoduck Restaurant.
So good.
So good.
So good.